Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you. We are delighted to have you join us today for Centa's webinar series for teachers, and I hope everyone is feeling energized and ready to engage in today's exciting session. Our topic for the session is Mastering Math Problem Solving with the RUCSAC Strategy. We are honored to have Soma Chandra, Headmistress, City Montessori School, Gomti Nagar, Campus 1. Welcome, Soma ma'am.
Thank you, Rachel.
Lovely to have you back. And yes, so Miss Soma Chandra is a distinguished educator and has been with City Montessori School since 2012, excelling in roles such as primary teacher, IT trainer, pre primary in charge, and headmistress. Recognized nationally and internationally, she was named by CENTA as one of India's top 10 learning champions from India for her active engagement through CENTA platform for professional development. A recipient of the Indian Education Award 2023, Miss Soma Chandra also holds numerous digital badges from CENTA along with certifications in Google Tools, AI, and virtual training. She's committed to innovation, fostering positive learning environments, and empowering educators through her leadership. Welcome again to our esteemed facilitator, and as well as over to you to begin.
Thank you, Rachel, for that introduction.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody, all the educators around the world. Today, we are going to delve into a very important topic mastering math. How many of you all were scared of maths when you were in school? You were? I was. But gradually, because of the help of my maths teachers, because of different strategies which she has taught us, I could work on it. So today in the webinar, we'll be working on mastering problem solving in math and introduction to RUCSAC. And I'll be walking you through a proven method that can help students approach mathematical problems with confidence and clarity. Before we get started, let me give you a quick rundown of what we'll be covering today. We'll be covering introduction to RUCSAC, detailed explanation of each step, practical examples. We'll be solving a lot of mathematical sums from easy to difficult and related to real life. Then interactive problem solving and then Q&A session. But before we begin our session, I have a question for my audience. Audience, are you ready? Okay. So here's a question for all the teachers here. When your students struggle with a math problem, what's the first piece of advice or guidance you usually offer them? How do you actually help them take the first step in problem solving? Oh, we also have a biology teacher. Never mind. This strategy can be applied in each subject also. So I repeat my question for all the teachers here. When your students struggle with a mathematical problem, what's the first piece of advice or guidance you usually give it to them? How do you help them take that first step in problem solving? Waiting. Okay, read very carefully. Babita says read very carefully. Absolutely. Read the sum again. Read first the question, understand them. Okay, Payal says so. Okay. Ask them to read again. So, reading. Yesterday, on reading. Reading is extremely, extremely important. So, well, friends, today we'll be doing a webinar on RUCSAC. RUCSAC is a German word usually meant for backpack. We carry backpack where we have lots of pockets, and every pocket has been designed for a specific purpose, to keep big things, to keep heavy things, to keep small things, to keep money. So every letter in rucksack has an importance. So let's start with the basic. Rucksack is a 6-step method designed to help break down and solve mathematical problems. It stands for an acronym for the steps a child needs to take in order to answer a word problem. How many of you all are aware of this term? I am. Mary says I am. Okay. Understanding. Divya says yes. Yes, RUCSAC is a 6-step problem solving sum. For problem solving sum, RUCSAC stand for RUCSAC. Read carefully. Read the problem. Understand. Identify what the problem is asking. Choose and select the correct operation. Once you will read it thoroughly, you will understand it, you will choose the correct strategy, then you should solve it, then answer to that particular question and check. Checking is extremely, extremely important. So by following this structured approach, you will find it easier to solve mathematical problems, especially word problems that might seem complex at first glance for your students. Now, importance of problem solving strategies. Why do we require problem solving strategies? Why? Because it prevents confusion and mistakes, isn't it? It encourages a methodological approach to tackle complex problems, and it improves accuracy and efficiency. Do you agree with me, audience? Yes, do you agree? Okay, all right. Now, let's delve into this further. The first step of RUCSAC is read. Pay attention to the key details and all given information of the sums. If we could ask, when we begin problem solving in classes, if we could ask our students to underline the key terms, identify if it is a word problem, number problem, or a real life scenario, first and foremost. So, if they'll underline the key terms, it will become easy. The key here is to read the problem carefully and make sure you understand all the information that is being presented in the sum. You should encourage your students to look for important numbers, important keywords, and the details that would help them solve that particular problem. It is always good idea to read the problem twice. The first time to get an overview, and the second time to get more clarity on the information that is given in the question. For example, John has 8 apples. Very easy. So I told you we'll begin from easy. John has 8 apples. He gives 3 apples to his friend. How many apples does he have left? So the key information over here is how many apples, total apples, and apples given away. So these are the key terms in this problem. So We'll ask the students, what is the important information? You have to keep that in mind. We all know that John starts with 8 apples and he gives away 3 apples. The question is asking us how many he has left. By carefully reading the problem, we can extract the key pieces of the information. We can ask the students to underline. The starting amount was 8, and the fact that was given was 3. So, reading, underlining the key terms or the key phrases. Next, understand. The second step is understanding the problem. What are you asked to find? Identify the keywords, whether it's total, whether it's difference, whether it's talking about sum, whether it's talking about left, whether it's talking about product, whether it's talking about to keep it in equal parts. Isn't it? So once you have read the problem, the next step is to understand. What is it asking? This means figuring out what exactly you need to find, which is a key term, key word in the question. Are you looking for a total or a difference or a sum? Understanding the problems helps you figure out the right path to take. For word problems, this might involve interpreting with different terms. Like in this sum, the key term is left. So let's revisit the question. John has 8 apples and he gave 3. What is the question asking? How many apples are left? So you need to, left is related to, yes, subtraction. You need to subtract the apples given away from the total number of apples. Next, the third term is to choose. Now that we have read and understood the problem, it's time to choose the right operation or strategy to solve it. What are we supposed to do? Decide on the right operation, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. You can consider using diagrams or models if required be. Choosing the right operation is extremely crucial. So if we will understand, if our students will understand the question, they'll be able to choose the right operation. So if you pick the wrong one, wrong keyword, you will solve, the answer will be wrong. So if your final answer will be wrong, even if the rest of the steps are accurate. So a good way to make the right choice is to put a clear attention on the keyword what the question is saying. So let's choose. Discuss the typical strategies for solving word problems. Addition when finding totals. When the term total is there, understand you have to do addition. When the term left or difference is there, understand you have to do subtraction. Repeated addition or product is there, then you have to multiply. If you have to divide something in equal parts or splitting it in equal parts, you have to do division. Can I ask another question to all my audience? Are you ready? So let me ask another question. Think of a time when you encountered a difficult math problem. How did you approach it and what strategies did you find was the most relevant or helpful in solving it? Think of a time when you were in school and you encountered a difficult math problem. If you could recollect, let's go back to the best days of our life, the childhood days. How did you approach it and what strategies did you find most helpful in solving it? Divya says understanding the problem. Wow. Oh, Hina, she has encountered. So, what have you encountered? And what strategy was very helpful? Okay, Payal says I tried to correlate with me. Understanding the question, referring some same question, referring to same kind of question. Very good. Fractions. Okay, Rajeshwari says fractions. Visualizing with help, ma'am. Right? With the help of your teacher. Amazing. So that has helped you in solving. So the next term is solve in RUCSAC. Solve the problem using the strategy you have chosen. Work through the operation step by step, ensuring accuracy. That is extremely, extremely important. If we choose the right concept. Once you have chosen your operation, the next step is to solve the problem. This is the actual calculation or process you go through to get your answer. Depending upon the complexity of the problem, you may have multiple steps also to solve. It's important to take your time and work through the calculation carefully without making mistakes. Okay? So let's see the example. For the given problem, John has 8 apples. He gives 3 apples to his friend, and the key term was left. So we have chosen subtraction. So let's solve 8 minus 3. It's an easy problem. John has 5 apples left. So the next is answer. Just writing the numbers for word problems, you lose marks. So ensuring the answer is written in context to the question or in context to the problems, that is with appropriate units or labels, is important. So make sure it is presented in the context of the problem. Next. So present the final answer. John has 5 apples left. Next term, and the most important term, which our student overlook because they are always in a hurry to go to the next question. They read, they don't read it twice, then they solve, and then they quickly go to the next question, no matter how many times you say. And that is check. Checking the final answer is extremely, extremely important. The final step is to check your work, reread the problem, and ensure your answer makes sense. Redo the calculation if required be to confirm your result. So this is the final step in RUCSAC. This step is often skipped, as I told you, students often skip. But it's essential to making sure your solution is correct. To check your work, go back, review the sum, understand, solve the problem if required be, and check your answer. That is extremely, extremely important. So, which step of RUCSAC you found extremely, extremely beneficial? A question for the audience. Which step of RUCSAC you found extremely, extremely important? And it's interesting question Payal has asked. How can we build this habit of reviewing their answers in students? We can. If we begin with this strategy when we begin problem solving sums, that you have to solve the sum by following the strategy of RUCSAC. Read, understand, I choose the correct concept, solve, write the answer, and check. Repetition can do wonders. And this is extremely, extremely important, and it can be applied in every subject. Understanding, reading, Deepthi says, okay, understanding the question. Absolutely. So, John, checking the example, John has 8 apples. He gave 3 checking. Check is 8 minus 3, that is 5, that is correct. Double check for any missteps or misinterpretations. That will give us the right answer. So again, repetition, read the question at least twice, underline the key phrases, understand the key term, what is the question is asking, choose the correct operation, solve the question, write the answer with related to the question, mentioning the unit or the term which is required, and then recheck the question and the answer one more time. So that was a recap for RUCSAC. Read, understand, choose, solve, answer, and check. Let's go to the next practical problem. And I want my audience to find out. Samantha has 65 chocolates. She eats 27 and gives 14 to her friend. How many chocolates does she have left? What are the key phrases or the key things which we should keep in mind while reading? Come on, audience. Let's apply it. Split onto smaller steps, absolutely. I'll give you a minute to read and think through the problem using RUCSAC method. Go ahead and start by identifying the key information and the operation you need. Okay? No, I don't want the answers. I want the key term. What have you understood? Which is the key term? Left. Okay? Have you read the question? What is the key term? So let's do it. Read. Total chocolates, 65. Eaten, these are the key terms, 27. Given, 14. What are we supposed to understand? How many are left? Left is the key term. If it is left, what are we supposed to choose? Subtraction. If we have to do subtraction, let's solve it. Total number of chocolates, 65. Eaten, 27. So the first step we have solved, the answer is 38. Let's go to the next step. 38 minus 14. Again, he has given. Given means, again, it's related to subtraction. So again, the next step to solve. So answer is 24. And what is the question asking? For chocolates that are left. So that unit has to be mentioned. So double check the operation and you're good to go. Let's go into the next practical example. A factory produces 500 gadgets in a day. 20% are faulty. How many working gadgets are produced each day? So let us read the question first. What should we read? Which is the specific term? Come on, audience. I'm waiting for your answer. Read. Key line. 400. I don't want the answer. We have to see. Right now we are behaving like students. They jump into the conclusion. We have to go slow. We have to make them understand step by step which strategy to be applied so that they don't make mistakes. For adult, it is easy. We do the calculations in it. So the factory produces 500 gadgets. and 20% are faulty. These are the key lines. And what are we supposed to understand? We need to find out how many. Key term is how many are not working or are faulty. So choose. So what are we supposed to do? Which application are we supposed to choose? I want to know which application. Somebody is saying subtraction. No. Production are faulty and how many are not working? Okay, very good. Fraction. Yes. Percentage to be changed to numbers first. So we have a two-step over here. First, multiplication. Changing from 20%. We have to find out what is 20% of 500. And then we have to go to the next step. So what are the key lines of red? Total gadgets, 500. Faulty are 20%. And what are we supposed to learn? How many are not working? So first we have to find out what is 20% of 500. So first is multiplication and then subtraction. So first 20% of 500. Go slow, teachers. Go slow, educators. We have to deal with students. And if we could help them solve the problems like this, believe me, they won't make any mistakes. So 20% of 500 will give us the first answer. And then we have to remove that from the total number of gadgets. That is the next step. You have got 20%. Bingo. Now what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to remove them because they are faulty. We cannot use them. So now are we removing means subtraction. Keyword. So left is 400. And what is the question asking about? How many are working gadgets? So that term which is used in the question needs to be applied in problem sums. Then confirm the percentage by checking and the subtraction to get to the right answer. How is it going, audience? Can I ask you another question? When solving math problems, which step do you find most challenging? Is it reading? Is it understanding? Is it choosing the right strategy? Is it solving? Or is it checking? Come on, audience. Let's make this webinar more interactive. When solving math problem, which step do you find is most challenging? Is it reading? Is it understanding? Is it choosing? Is it the right strategy? Is it solving or checking? Okay. Wilson says understanding. Salma says choosing. Okay, Nirmala says understanding. Julius is understanding and solving. Hina says understanding. Akanksha says right strategy. Okay, great. Most of y'all are choosing understanding. Yes. It depends upon person. Nobody is no right or wrong answers. It depends from individual to individual. But most of them is understanding. Understanding, if you'll understand a concept, if you are able to understand what is the question asking about, believe me, it will be easy for a student or for us to solve. What do we have to do? Which path we have to take? Suppose we are standing at a marketplace and we want to go, which side we have to go. If we understand, okay, this a lot of shops are there, and a lot of houses are there on my left, and a lot of shops are there on my right, I can easily make out, okay, I have to go for shopping. I have to go towards the market side. I've understood shops reflect market. Buildings or houses reflect that it's where people live. So I don't have to go that side. It's a residential area, and this side is the market. Choosing the right strategy, actually, absolutely, if we'll understand, we'll be able to choose the right strategy. We'll choose the right strategy, we'll be able to solve. If we'll be able to solve, we'll get the right answer. And if we'll get the right answer, we'll have to check. So let's take a look at interactive activity, some practice problem solvings. We have 3 sums. Let's take up the first problem sums. A train has 120 seats, 85 are occupied. How many are free? Come on. What are the key terms in the first question? A train has 120 seats, 85 are occupied. How many are free? I'm waiting, audience. Take a few minutes. Key term. I don't want the answer. I want the key term. Which is the key term in question number 1? A train has 120 seats, 85 are occupied. The important terms, read. How many are free? Free, very good. Total, occupied, and free. These are the 3 main terms we have to consider. Bingo. Right, Rajesh? Well done. Alina, yes, absolutely. So, what are we supposed to do? The first question. Which concept are we supposed to choose? Yes, subtraction. Okay, subtraction. Okay. So, we have chosen subtraction. Next, what are we supposed to do? Solve. Then answer. What is the answer? Come on, audience. What is the answer? Quick. Now you can be quick. I'm going through question number 1. 120 minus 85. Very good. All right. 35. Bingo. And then we go back. 35 what? I want the term. The specific term, the specific unit mentioned. Remember, while writing the answer, we will not tell the students just to write the number. We'll tell them to write the term which is being asked. So 35, what is free? 35 seats. So let's go to the end. We ask them to read again and check. Next question. Tim has 5 bags of oranges. Each bag has 6 oranges. How many oranges are in total? What is the first term? Read. Key terms. I want the key terms. Come on, audience. I want the key terms of the second question. What are the key terms? Each bag. Okay, got it. How many are there? Each bag and total. Bingo. Unnati has understood. Each bag and total. Kudos to Unnati. Yes, we have to read, Divya. Absolutely. And now we have understood how many oranges are there in each bag. How many number of bags do we have? 6. And in each bag, We have 5. So, multiples. What are we supposed to do? Choose the concept. Concept. Audience, concept. Choose the concept which you'll use in the second question. Yes, Manjari. Multiplication. Absolutely. Now that we have chosen the concept, what are we supposed to do? Solve. Yes, Tanuja. Multiplication. Solve. What are we going to do? 6 into 5. Multiply. Answer. What will be the answer? What will be the answer? Yes, Jeweler, multiplication, multiplication. Good going, audience. What will be the answer? Yes, 30 oranges. Good. Rekha, Binu, very good. Doj, you have not forgotten to mention the unit. Good going, you've understood. And then we ask them to check. Quickly, let's dive into this third question. Sarah buys 3 books and 1 book at 12 or $12. How much does she spend? So understand key terms. First, the key terms, audience. Key terms. Let's go to the key terms of the third question. 3 books, price is $12 each. Very good. And Nobunita is the first one. Thank you, Nobunita. Very good. Understand the keywords we've got. Concept. Concept. Quickly, audience, concept. Waiting. I don't want the answers. Waiting. Sarah buys 3 books. Each book is of $12. Concept. What are we supposed to do? Multiply. Rajesh is the first one to answer. Multiply. Okay, let's solve. 12 threes are. Solve and then answer. Answer with the term which is being asked, with the unit. No, Mohammed, not like this. The unit. 36. Bhuvaneshwari, not only 36. Remember, we spoke about it. Yes, Shweta, $36. Bingo. See, if we as educators would forget problem sums, we don't only write, not only write the numbers, units are important. And we check. So, common mistakes. Let's now, whenever we do make, at times we do tend to make some mistakes also. So, what are the common mistakes which at times we make? Not reading carefully enough the question, misunderstanding what the question is asking, choosing the wrong operation at times, and solving and rushing through the solution. Oh, quickly, let's solve. Isn't it? Are we doing it? And the most important is not checking the answers. That's a major mistake. Our students are always in a hurry to submit the paper, isn't it? So let me ask another question before we go to the next slide. Which of the following is the first, let's go to the first step of RUCSAC? Out of all the steps of RUCSAC, which of the following strategy you like the most? Which strategy of RUCSAC you like the most? Was it R? Was it U? Was it C? Was it S? Was it A? Or was it C? I'm waiting. All. Thank you, Salma. Another question. Which of Why is the check step important in RUCSAC strategy? Why do you think we have to repeat this? We have to ask students to check. Why is the check step most important in RUCSAC strategy? Is it to ensure the final answer makes sense? Is it to decide which strategy to use? Is it to choose the correct formula? Or is it to rewrite the problem? What do you think? Why is the check step important in RUCSAC strategy? To check the answer is correct or not. To avoid any mistakes, absolutely. Checking is important, not to avoid mistakes, not to lose marks. So let's go to the next slide. Which step of RUCSAC do you find most challenging? Which step of RUCSAC do you find is most challenging? I'm waiting. Check. Accuracy. Choose the right method is most challenging. Okay. Choosing the right method is most challenging. Understanding. Mickey says understanding. You understanding. Okay. Kavita says check. Ensure accuracy. Avoid mistakes. Solving. Choosing. SNA both. Okay. Understanding. Understanding and choosing. Okay. Anandi says solving. Absolutely. All the steps are, for me, my personal understanding, but all the steps plays a very important role in RUCSAC. So let's take a real life problem. You are shopping and a 15% discount, oh my god, 15% discount is offered on a rupees 1500 item. How much do you pay after the discount? So first, identify the R. Audience, identify the R. Come on, audience, identify the R. You are shopping and a 15% discount is offered on a rupees 1500 item. Oh, Manjari, first one. Discount in percentage. Iti says total discount. Vijay Lakshmi says multiplication. I don't want the concept. I told you to identify the R. Discount. Okay. Now the key term. Understand. What is the key term? Step by step. Understand. Discount. Okay. Discount. Kashi says discount. Okay. Discount. Okay. Now that you have understood the key word discount, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to solve? Does it involve one step or does it involve two steps? One step or two steps? What are we supposed to do? Waiting. Does it involve one step or two? Very good, Binu. Two steps. Absolutely, two steps. So what will be the first step? Two steps, okay? Yes. Two steps. So what will be the first step? What is, what will be the first step? Multiply, okay. Find out the percentage. Discount 15%. Very good, Rekha Agarwal. 15% of 1500. Okay. What is 15% of 1500? We have all maths teachers, all educators. It's very simple. We all love discounts. What is 15% of 1500? 15% of 1500. Come on, I'm waiting. 225. Very good. Pawan, very good. 225. Vanita, very good. 225. 225. Wow. 225. Absolutely correct. Bang on. Now, what will be the second step? What are we supposed to do with 225? 225 is the discount. But how much am I supposed to pay? What are we supposed to do? Very good, Shweta. 1500 minus 225. What will be the answer? Quickly, audience. Maths teachers. 1500 minus 225. 1500 minus 225. Hurry up. Yes. Mickey. What? 1275. Wonderful. Himani. Perfect. Ashutosh. Perfect. Amazing. Now, what will be the answer? Remember, we don't have to write only 1275. We have to write, wonderful, Sakshi, rupees to 1275. Absolutely, Sakshi. Bang on. Arshi, bingo. 12 rupees 1275. Don't forget the unit. And what is the last step? To check. Read. Shopping. Discount is 15% on item costing rupees 1500. Key term is discount. First find out the discount, then do the subtraction, subtract the discount, get the answer. We are good to go. We write the answer. So, wonderful. 1275. Absolutely correct is the right answer. Another question before we move on to the next slide. How can the RUCSAC strategy help student? Will it help them by speeding up their calculation or by giving them a structured approach to problem solving or by focusing only on the final answer? How can the RUCSAC strategy help student? By speeding up their calculation, by giving them a structured approach to problem solving, or is it C, by focusing only on the final answer? Is it A, B, or C? A is speeding up of calculation, B is structured approach, C is focusing on final answer. Very good. Yes, Himani, structured approach. Yes, Deepthi, structured approach. Wonderful. So, final thoughts. RUCSAC is a systematic method to solve mathematical problem sums. It reminds us always go through each step carefully because practice makes man perfect. Encourage your students to continue practicing and using this method while solving problem sums. Believe me, it will be extremely beneficial for them. Do you agree with me or not? So before we move on to the Q&A session, for all the teachers here, when faced with challenging, right, math problem, what are we supposed to do? RUCSAC. Mastering math is not about finding the right answer. It is about learning the right approach, teaching our student the right approach. And with the RUCSAC strategy, every problem becomes an opportunity to think, apply, and grow. Remember, we have to encourage them to have a growth mindset. That was all for today's session. Let's thank you everybody. Can we have some Q&A questions? Anybody?
Thank you so much for that, Soma. And yes, we do have some questions. And your first question is basically with how to build a habit of reviewing answers with students.
When we introduce the problem sums, right, from grade 1 or from grade 2, if we teach them this concept, this strategy, and we ask them to solve, follow the strategy, and it is very, very important to check if we keep repeating while we are solving a sample problem sum. Have I checked this sum? No. Have you read? Everybody read? Done. Checklist. Initially, it will take time. We'll have to go a little slow. Have we understood? Have we underlined the key term? Let's solve. I'm giving 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes to solve. Have you solved? Let's write the answer. I hope we have not forgotten to write the unit, which is very, very important in problem sum. Okay. Now, the very important thing is check. Repetition for students is very, very important. And gradually they'll learn. Especially during examination time, they are always in a hurry to go to the next question and then to the next question. And when they see the papers, they realize, oh, ma'am, I missed it. I could have done better if I would have checked. Isn't it?
Thank you so much for that, Soma. And your next question is basically one audience says over here in my country, Ethiopia, almost all students at all grade levels fear or are anxious about learning science disciplines such as math and physics. What strategy do you recommend?
Okay, maths and science, it's actually, it's not scary, it's the way we present it. Okay, we begin with an activity, we encourage them. Even if the answer is wrong, never mind. Gradually read it again, see now what you have understood. A little inclusive approach is required, because some children, including me, I was very scared of mathematics when I was in school. But I got a very good maths teacher when I was in grade 6. I was introduced to algebra, integers. Oh, I also became Ishan Nandakishore Avasthi. Numbers are always dancing. But then told me, do it. Try it out. Try it out. Don't see the answers. Try it out again. Check. Read this problem sums, example sums. Read it again and again and again. Then just copy the example sums. Now solve it without. What have you understood? What are you applying? Go slow. That is very, very important. Hand holding through activity, like fractions. If we'll teach them 2 upon 4, and if we teach them through pizza card, hands on maths, it will do wonders. Student will learn fraction very easily through activity or through multiplication, grouping them while multiplying, playing, asking them with housey tickets. Okay, multiples of 2 today. We'll play housey. Imagine what fun. Rather than asking them to choose 1 times 2 is 2, Two twos are four. That's difficult. There'll be no rote learning. They'll understand the concept.
Yes. Thank you so much, Soma, for taking the time to answer the questions very elaborately. And thank you for such an engaging session. I see the comments and I see that the audience truly enjoy that you have interacted with them and got them even activities that they can do. And seeing all the responses that they're giving is definitely wholesome. And I'd like to thank you once again for giving such an engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. And I'm sure that our teachers have got a lot of takeaways from this session. Now, as we are moving towards the closing of the session, I'm sure that you all have received the feedback form links in the chat box. We have a new process for filling up the feedback form. We are sharing the steps over here. Please refer to the same. Yes. So open up the Center app and go towards the end of the session. Find the ongoing webinar section. Click submit feedback and note this option will only appear when it is 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Enter the 4-digit code as you can see in the banner below. Please refer to the code 4575. Complete the feedback form and download your record of participation instantly. We have streamlined this process to make it accessible for you all to receive your record of participation instantly. Thank you so much once again, everyone, for attending today's webinar. And thank you so much, Soma, for joining us today. Have a good
Thank
evening,
you so
everyone.
much. Thank you so much, Rachel. I
Thank you
had a
so much.
great time. Very encouraging and audience. Thank you so much. So
Thank you so
remember
much.
RUCSAC.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for joining us today, so much,
Bye
Chandra.
bye.
Have a good day.
Same to you. Bye, audience.